Fiona, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
You are a very captivating writer.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, your blog, I mean, it's just like somebody, as if you were just talking to somebody, and that's great to read.
Okay.
And so, in this conversation, I just want to know from you why, if you believed in social media, I want to believe that you believed in Koikoi Uganda.
Yeah, I did.
And telling the Ugandan story, why this was important to you at all.
I joined Koikoi in 2016 out of FOMO. FOMO is a real thing. I saw these pictures online and I was like, I'm going to join these people by hook or crook. I am finding the money. I need to find those pictures of myself online. Yes. And really, it was an interesting thing. When my first trip to Sipi Falls, I met all these cool people that I thought were famous.
Did you go abseiling?
I went abseiling, and that's a story for another day, please.
So crazy.
But when I reached and I met all these people and all their passion for telling stories, I was like, well, this could give some insight to my writing. Yeah. Traveling does amazing things to writing. So it gave insight to my writing, and all of a sudden, as part of these cool people who travel Uganda and take pictures, and I just had to keep saving up that money and going for the next and the next trip. And it has been a revolution. I think Koikoi is onto something really amazing and revolutionizing, and people should join. And you can see a lot of other Ugandan trips that are happening with their own hashtag, but we know that Koikoi started this thing, and it's amazing to see.
The way you have been able to translate stories, people who you talked to and those who you didn't, is something that's amazing, and that causes somebody to want to actually go and see these things for themselves. And so for you, like, why is it even important to tell a Ugandan story? And even though it wasn't, in Kapchora or in Bunyonyi, Lake Bunyonyi, even if it was just right here in Kampala, in a taxi, you write a lot about your experiences.
Taxi chronicles.
Yes. So why is that important to you and to other people?
I came for the form already, but I stayed for the stories and the people. And the reason I think it's really important to tell Ugandan stories because there are not very many of them out there that are good. And it's not that these things are not happening, but international media has that covered. So it's important that we tell our own stories and put a twist to them, stories we can relate to. And internet gives us an opportunity to write and publish without any cost to us. You just buy bundle and just tell your story, and I think it's important to put our stories out there, relatable stories that kids can grow up and read those stories if we get them, and other countries and people in the world can look at this story and say, this is Uganda, this is what is happening in Uganda. These are the stories out of Uganda, told by Ugandans. It's important that we tell our own stories our own way, with our own twist in our Ugandan English, and keep it English. Keep it going.
Why should we care?
Why should we care?
Why should we care about Uganda or even telling our own story? Why?
The most interesting thing is, when you would grow up, you would say, oh, children are the future.
Now we are. Those
future.
Adults. We are not children.
And we don't appreciate the future that they created for us. And I think it's important that we create the future we want for ourselves and, well, for the kids that come after us. Otherwise, we'll become what we have come to condemn and despise, and that's the country we will have. That same one that we are despising now and saying all these things about. If we don't participate actively in changing it in some small way, then, well,
well, when we started out Koikoi, we wanted to debunk myths about Uganda, and not just for people out there who think Uganda is about Idi Amin or Kony or just Museveni most recently. And so, have you debunked any myths, anything that you held yourself, or even simply cured some ignorance there, for the time that you've been around this country?
I had a lot of ignorance about, there's something about when you live in the city and you think, oh, your life is, if when you don't have an internet connection, you have a problem, and you know the whole world is coming down to a standstill because you're suffering with traffic. You know the issues that we have. So it's very hard to imagine that you can be out of town, have no cell phone service, have no, and you're living and you're okay and you're kawa and happy, and that there are people who live
this
way and they are fine. I used to feel like, oh, we need to save them.
We need to save them. So you finally understood why so many of them keep voting the regime that you figure shouldn't still be in power, because out here in town you want what's in New York. So you finally understand why they're actually comfortable with the peace that they have.
Yes, you think, oh, these people need saving, but those people are okay, and well, you're okay in Kampala, but they're also fine and doing really well. And I have had to unlearn savior complex from traveling.
Black savior complex.
Thinking, oh, because the kids don't have shoes when they are going to school, it must be so hard for them. They are fine. Okay, so carry on. I think it's it's important to travel this country and kind of get out of your bubble and feel like there's a whole country out there.
True. Yeah, that's true. Well, personally, I've been around Uganda a lot. In fact, all of Uganda, mostly. And at first it was the same thing. You come out of Kampala with your savior complex and then find out that people are actually okay wherever they're living. But most importantly, meeting amazing people out there, in their local, in their natural habitat, in their element, literally. Yeah, in their element, literally, and they're the most amazing, so old people around Uganda literally are the same. So you will find grandmothers anywhere, in Gulu, in Pakwach, and they're just as pleasant, as decent, as amazing as your own grandmother.
Yes.
And so it's not to say that your parents lied or anything, but
so
to an extent, your life has been a lie. So all those things that they told me about Bachiga, about people in the north, things that I had about people in the east, beyond Basoga. For me, meeting them, and even though I can't say that I have a whole experience of who they are, just you can get a sense of people. You can get a bad vibe even for a few minutes, and just finding that they are just as regular as the people right here in the central. And now my parents can't say, no, the ones who in class are refined because they've been in the urban areas for a long time. No. So for me, that has been a very eye-opening experience, just going around Uganda and experiencing it for myself, and being able to tell my own stories and make my own deductions about Uganda.